Today's blog is entitled The Myth of a Super Deep Induction in Hypnosis. I just want to open a discussion today about something. Now, this is the way I see things in hypnosis. I might be wrong because I'm not a deep trance specialist. I'm very open to being corrected. This is my take on things. So, there's a lot of courses out there on hypnosis promising to teach people, very deep hypnosis, whether it's ultra depth, delta state, S-del state, etc. The theory being, if you get someone deep enough, you'll bypass their critical faculty and they'll obey your instructions. Well, here's the problem I have with this as a concept. There are demos of people who do seem to go into very deep states and act out hypnotic phenomena. But if this technique were just about reaching a depth of hypnosis, then provided everyone reached the depth of hypnosis, it should be infallible. The technique should always work. Except, of course, that it doesn't. Depth is not a guarantee of change. I've got two documented cases of doing on YouTube. These are just the two I've taped Skype sessions. And these are two clients with selective eating phobias. They both saw undeniably good hypnotists. One's a famous radio one, one's famous in or very accomplished and established. One for 6 sessions, one for 3 sessions. Now with the client that I saw who had 3 sessions with no change, not able to really, not much change off the session. I wasn't even aiming for a deep hypnosis. I did my open version. The client goes into their own natural state, whether hypnotized or not. But here's the key point. At the end of the session, I asked her if she noticed the difference between her experience with me and the experience with other therapists. And she said, no, hypnosis was exactly the same. Not better, not worse, not deeper, the same. So if it's the same, why didn't she just change the first time? Because change lies within her, not some external other. Possibly she wasn't quite sold on the change, she had other things going on, but hypnosis was the same. So, in my experience, I've seen every combination of client from 6 to 70 years on, eyes open, eyes closed, partially, lightly, deeply, medium, and I believe that in most cases, free will ultimately dominates for most clients. Changes in the client's hands, not the therapist. It's a bit of a sobering and humbling factor here. No matter how good the hypnotist is, like it or not, change is not in our hands. It's not down to us. Now, look, let's be completely honest here about success rates. We see there's a certain percentage of the population where hypnosis works well, and these people will comply with suggestions. We've all had nice, easy results. And perhaps the client's already close to a tipping point, or they're impressionable, they're malleable, they're compliant. They just need an authority figure to tell them what to do. Perhaps their critical mind does just need to switch off for once. These clients aren't really the problem. Any half-decent therapist will get good results. The problem is many hypnotherapists just focus on these clients for testimonials. Hey, look what I did. What an amazing hypnotist I am. Why can't any half-decent trainee could get the same result? Look, speaking for myself one day, I decided to change my diet. I was a bit fed up of getting some belly flab. I was eating chocolate every day, being a bit undisciplined. I just decided to cut out chocolate and just have it once in a weekend, with my kids. Now, if I'd gone to a therapist, I'd be a really good client because I'm already there mentally. If I went to a hypnotherapist, they might say, just in one session, I changed Felix from eating chocolate every day, most days, down to 1 day a week, just one session. I was going to do that anyway. So, I think that super deep inductions rely on working with this percentage of the population, either very compliant, very close already, but that means it's not going to work for a larger majority of clients, and that's just wasteful. Here's the other problem. If the aim of hypnosis needs to be establishing a super deep state. What do most people believe about hypnosis? A hypnotist will take you into deep trance and then take control of your mind, hopefully for a good or ethical reason. I don't know, but is anyone else here apprehensive of that happening? How do you feel with someone in your mind? You're probably thinking, okay, someone's going to go in my mind. What are they going to do? What if they make changes I don't want them to change? What if they make things worse? And anxious clients tend to be control freaky because they don't trust things to be okay by definition. So we're asking highly anxious people to be okay with a stranger within 10 minutes trying to take control over their minds. It's no wonder that 80% plus of the children I see want their eyes open. They want to keep their eye on me. And say, his mum slipped in suggestions, tidy his room, do his homework. 30 to 40% of adults are the same. They want to keep an eye on things and seek to control what they fear. Very common. Now, some trainers will counter with, do a shock induction like a hand drop. Shock them into hypnosis. Crash that left brain. Sure. Now, that's going to work with some of the population. But for me, the thing is, it's too risky. Yeah? Now, a hypnotist is expected to hypnotize. If I go to a surgeon, I expect surgery. Yeah? And if you don't hypnotize, you're going to lose credibility. What if you use a shock induction and the client thinks, nah, I'm not hypnotized? You're going to lose credibility. And that, as an outcome, as a scenario, it just doesn't appeal to me. So, a trainer might retort with, well, it's practice and being confident with your shock induction. Okay, sure, I've seen therapists say, just believe in yourself. Okay, but firstly, belief is usually a result of a process of building up to doing something. It's a bit like swimming. You don't believe you're a great swimmer from day one. You take your floaters off, you're going to deep end. You build up to being a bigger swimmer, okay? But in the meantime, you've got to take the risk of these shock inductions not working, which puts a lot of people off. It's easy for many trainers to say, just do this, because they're either naturally experienced or naturally confident or naturally extrovert and daring, but, a lot of students aren't. They have different personalities. There's no point having brilliant inductions if some people are too scared to do them with real clients and then ashamed and blame themselves for being cowardly and avoid them because of these painful associations. I'm pretty confident myself. I won't do a shock induction with a client unless I know they're a somnambulist. Why take the risk when there's alternatives? Also, got to be honest, shock inductions have never worked for me. I've had good people do them on me. Bob Burns, it's very good. Anthony Jacquin, other trainers. Not once did I think, I'm hypnotized. I played along. I am hypnotizable. Other approaches work for me, but it's not my system's preferred method, though. Yeah. There's a student on a training I attended. I was part of the audience. We're doing a round robin, trying, just whatever comes to mind, trying. She sees me. Her conscious mind chose an instant induction, hand drop, because it's been told this technique gets this result. So her subconscious mind, I think, was thinking, well, what if it doesn't work with him? He's one of the trainers or something. So what happens? You get performance anxiety. And her brain went blank. I pick up on it. There's doubt. There's nervousness. I lose trust. I think, well, I don't think it's going to work. It doesn't work for either of us. There's no point doing an induction while desperately hoping it's going to work. Because you're putting too much faith in the technique, not enough in understanding about the underlying processes and what your subconscious feels more confident doing. So, I also did another a demonstration in Melbourne to a Hypnosis Association. And I was told in Melbourne that a lot of people do a lot of Ericksonian, indirect hypnosis. So a person comes up to me and goes, can you do some rapid inductions or instant inductions? It's that appeal, isn't it? This is real hypnosis. So I said, okay, fine. So later on, I asked for a volunteer, and I specifically asked for a person who's not a somnambulist, because that'll be easy. I want your typical, average, left-brain, analytical, skeptical person. Yeah. I got a volunteer. I said, come up on stage, and I informed her, look, don't please me, because I want to make a point. And I led her up to a handshake induction. Yeah. I did all the moves, rolling the head, rolling this, deeper and deeper. Here's your arm flopping, your other arm flopping, this is flopping, and, went through the moves. Yeah. So okay. Open your eyes. And then I said to the audience, be honest, did that look impressive? And quite a few people put their hands up. So I said to the volunteer, okay, look, be honest with me, were you actually hypnotized? And she said, no. So, what were you thinking was happening? And basically saying, well, I was kind of going along with that, yeah? So, here's my problem. As therapists, we don't know if the client's really pleasing us or not. We don't know what the client's really thinking, yeah? Because they know the moves and they know how to act them sometimes. Oh, it's not working, but I'll play along. We're not really clear on the real stats, yeah? So, this doesn't help anyone, and that's why I focus on feedback-based inductions even. I want to know where the client's at. So, I believe there's therapists out there who believe the success rate with instants is a lot higher than it actually is because they're not getting accurate feedback. because of these experimental effects. Now, I have to be honest, I think I did a fairly competent shock induction. Yeah, it still didn't work. Yeah, so what's a hypnotherapist to do? Well, if you don't want the risk of instants or sometimes rapids, most hypnotherapists, they play it safe. They return to progressive relaxation. I hate progressive relaxation, both as a therapist and a client. It's boring. It's boring to do. It's boring to experience. I'm too impatient. My mind's going too fast. Yeah, I don't even like extended guided imagery unless it's client-led. Yeah, I don't even like counting down from 1 to 10. It's boring. I count down from 1 to 3 or up from 1 to 3. Yeah, so options are you go for progressive relaxation, or you keep chasing the elusive holy grail of a super deep induction that will finally work for everyone, or you resort to some tapping or some other technique, or you find an alternative route, which is what I did. So, in a nutshell, the protocol I've developed basically takes the stress of hypnotizing and change work because the setup ensures consistently good results. It doesn't even matter whether they're hypnotized or not. Well, how great is that? Yeah? I want the client sold on change before we even get the hypnosis bit. It's going to change the way that you work. In general, the protocol takes 30 to 40 minutes, and then 15 minutes of the hypnosis change back then, so it could be 40, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. I can make it quicker, but why rush it? So the point is, again, in classical hypnosis, it's all about bypassing or tricking or deceiving. I prefer to collude and collaborate with both minds. Yeah? The subconscious is wary of change. Doesn't matter how good you are, it's on guard. It's not a great start. Yeah? Better to get cooperation than to try and bypass it, in my opinion.